If the stock market had one of those life alerts, boy, it would have smashed that red button 3 days in a row after taking fall after fall. The man in charge of Colorado's investments keeps most of that $17 billion in safer stuff. But even he's not looking these days. Mark Salinger starts us off here with the challenge and possible opportunities as President Trump tanks the markets with his trade war.
For the person who manages the state's money, the view from inside the Capitol is clear.
President Trump's actions have ignited chaos and confusion across the globe.
Democrat Dave Young is the Colorado State Treasurer. His department invests more than $17 billion of state funds, purposefully doing so in some of the most conservative ways possible.
We prioritize safe and stable assets expected to endure market and economic stress.
While Colorado-based companies have lost tens of billions of dollars in value since President Trump's tariffs took effect, the state's investment portfolio is focused on long-term stability. Instead of investing state funds in individual stocks, Colorado invests in government and corporate bonds, mortgage-backed securities, and U.S. Treasury notes.
We specifically manage the portfolio to make sure that we can withstand these kinds of this kind of turbulence.
But that doesn't mean Young isn't concerned. If consumers stop spending money and tax revenue drops, the state could see an even larger budget shortfall than it's already facing. This year, it's already more than $1 billion.
Our tax revenues really depend on the economic vitality of our Colorado economy, and our Colorado economy depends, on the United States.
Some of this could lead to some major opportunities for places like Colorado, where I think capital investment will come in.
At the University of Denver, supply chain management professor Jack Buffington sees opportunity in uncertain times.
I believe that Colorado is going to become a future manufacturing hub for the United States, and the reason why is because of the airport.
Buffington sees Denver's massive airport and all the open land nearby as an asset to attract new manufacturing businesses, but he acknowledges that's a long way off. For now, the short-term pain, as the president calls it, will be felt everywhere from Colorado oil and gas stock values to the price of a can of beer.
I actually think that this is going to be a bigger shock to the supply chains than COVID.
For now, the state isn't touching its money, waiting to see what comes next.
There's been no realized losses. We aren't selling in a down market.
It's hard to put a number on total losses for the value of publicly traded companies in Colorado. Some reports put the number in the range of $40 billion lost in value in just the last couple of days. State's largest company, Palantir, actually gained in the stock market today after losing $9 billion of its market cap last week. That could be the gain today because of reports that it could soon be working with DOGE to access and assess taxpayer data.
Trump giveth taxpayer value and taketh taxpayer value, or company value away, I guess. All right, so Dave Young, treasurer, Democrat, he got into office 2019, so he was in there through the whole COVID drop.
Yeah, exactly, and they're looking back at what happened during the pandemic as almost a guide for how to go through difficult times. Obviously, there's differences, right? That was natural, or, it just came up out of the blue. This is self-inflicted. They're still looking at it and saying, okay, how did we get through these past couple of years during COVID, during the pandemic, and how can we make it through this time?
Mark Salinger, thank you very much.